I'm going to start with an overview of the OneDrive functionality and then move on to troubleshooting OneDrive errors and scenarios. This isn't to imply that you will be spending a lot of time troubleshooting OneDrive, but instead we want to empower you to understand all the facets of this great tool. OneDrive is often what we think of when we are storing our personal files within an organization, but it is also the glue that provides the synchronization technology so that all your files are available from all devices and locations. And what I mean by that is that you can get to your files on your computer, whether you do it from a browser or they're synchronized to your File Explorer or Finder. You can also load an app on your phone and get to them from that app, or you can also get to them from a browser on your phone. But once you've hit synchronized, whether it's within SharePoint or Teams, OneDrive is the technology that makes them available. We also have deep integration with Office so that this file availability and functionality is so rich with all the features of the Office apps as well. I'm going to illustrate the synchronization by showing you some files that have been synchronized. So here I am in my File Explorer. I have several different OneDrive clients. My personal happens to be attached to my personal Microsoft account. But I can see that these files are attached to the cloud because I have the status symbol here. For other documents, if I looked at another folder that isn't synchronized, it does not have the status column. I can also synchronize files from within a SharePoint site or Teams site. I can look at these same files in a web browser. So here's my web browser version of a SharePoint site. And if I hit the sync icon, that's right here in the middle of the ribbon, then it's going to synchronize those files with my File Explorer. It prompts me, tells me that I'm using OneDrive to do that, and that it's syncing the files. Once I've done that, I can access these files from within the web browser, or I can access them from within the File Explorer on my device. This enables me to share files from either of these locations. I can upload them in a web browser. I can drag and drop them using my File Explorer. What is so incredibly powerful about this is that OneDrive manages the credentials and synchronization. So as a consultant, I work with a lot of different companies and can put my files onto the project shares without logging into a browser each time. This extends to having different spaces between work and personal, or within a company, sharing files with a specific team or virtual team that I'm working with. There are so many use cases where it's easier to write directly to the space we're working, the collaborative space we're working with, from File Explorer or Finder instead of downloading this. Of course, with all this great power comes great responsibility, because we can delete files faster than one wants sometimes. And the common mistake that is made here is that people are looking at things in their File Explorer view, and even though it has the status icon that indicates everything is synced, they delete things from their File Explorer thinking that it's personal to them, when it actually is deleting everything on that site, or just those files on that site, whatever they choose to delete. So there's wonderful functionality of the recycle bin that goes ahead and restores those files. We also can help people just check where they are before they've deleted things. If you stop syncing your device, then you can see those files in your File Explorer. They won't have the status icon, and you can delete them then. So here I am. I am in my File Explorer. I'm going to delete that same spreadsheet that I was working with, the inventory spreadsheet. And if I look at that same directory in my web browser now, that inventory spreadsheet is no longer there. So I have deleted things from the File Explorer view that I may want to restore, and I have in my web view this option of going to the recycle bin. on the left nav there. Once in the recycle bin, I can see what's there, what's been deleted, and then if I select something like the inventory, I have the option to restore it in the ribbon above. So this is really a point where we can educate people to understand whether they're deleting things from a local file or a synced file. Oftentimes it's easier just to tell people delete things from the web version. But if they delete from File Explorer, you just want to know whether it's syncing or not. If it's a location that's synced and you just delete it from File Explorer, it will delete it in the web version as well. To demo this OneDrive synchronization, we are going to go to the toolbar of my laptop, my taskbar, and I can see all my different OneDrive icons there. The ones that have the little circles are the ones that are currently processing files. The gray ones are not signed in. The blue ones are active and healthy. If I click on any one of those, and those probably have different identities associated with them. As I said, the gray ones are not signed in. Their icons can indicate if they have a yellow yield sign that the OneDrive account is nearly full, or if they have the do not enter sign, the OneDrive account is full or locked. The circle shows that it's processing changes or that it's paused if it has the pause icon. And the sync errors happen if I have a file conflict. If I go to the settings for any one of those OneDrives, I can see what settings I have set for my synchronization. And I also can see for each account what locations are syncing. This is where I can choose to stop syncing. So again, if I do want to not sync a location any longer, and I don't want those files on my local File Explorer, then I stop the sync and then I delete them on my laptop before I proceed. The key part here is to stop syncing, otherwise you'll delete the files for everyone. I can see as if I have an item in OneDrive that is processing, I can see what those files are that it's working with. Some of the common issues with files come with the file names. They could be too long. They could have restricted characters. They could conflict with a file name that's already there or a file that's open. Other errors come from not being signed in, or you don't have permission to upload to that location. That's an uncommon one because often if you synced, you've already had permissions to see the library, but in some cases you could have the view permission but not the upload permission. There are a great many articles on Microsoft's website to talk about how to support these particular issues as you may encounter them with OneDrive. Again, it's such a powerful tool that there are so many different ways to use it. Lots of resources to dig into any particular feature that you want, but we hope you've enjoyed this overview.